Oh, that's Ketil. I thought that was Forgil up there, yeah. 350. Quite a lot of men. 100 good in a fight. Okay, is it starting all now? They're all riled up, yeah. Yeah, if it was like under other circumstances, he probably wouldn't fight. What would he do then? Just work with Canute to give him the land? Okay, yeah. Any slaves here might be freed. Anyone else will have their debts paid. Yeah, the bigger the numbers, the more hope they've got. Yeah, it's not empty up there. He does have some better like you. Fourth and Chinese back on violence, yeah. But Snake maybe knowing he could be a useful asset. Quite a big scar. I wonder if that will be permanent. I can't believe... yeah, they can't leave her behind. Leaf is right here, and we've got it all off screen. Like the initial reunion. Yeah, changed so much. Yeah, with whom I say, like, you've become a good man. Yeah, it can't come all this way for nothing. If they put her on the back of a carriage or something. If she was hit right on the stomach, right in the belly, she might not. 1 or 2 more days. Do they have 1 or 2 more days? Okay. Yeah. Very imminent then. Do they have any advantage, them coming in to see? You know, if they're coming in on their boats, I don't know if they have a way to sink the boats before they even land. I don't think so. That'd be a bit anticlimactic as well, to just take care of them so easily. Also, be sure to check out the Patreon page where you can find next week's episode right now, polls to vote for what's next, and a full-length version of this reaction too. Oh. Were the boats empty? Okay, no, it was just off in a distance. Waste of resources, yeah. But they've got the skill. Yeah, these are all Jom's Vikings, and no, it wasn't the Jom's Vikings, was it? But it's specifically Canute's like most elite men. Yeah, I saw the boats at the end off in the distance, and I thought they looked empty and they'd already like landed or something. Yeah, he would avoid it if necessary. Ketil's just not in the right mental position now, though. Oh, wow. Yeah, because they're already disobeying him. Ketil himself is looking more like Forgil. Every time I see him, I saw him sitting there and thought it was Forgil for a second.
図に乗るなよ若造が。ただいまと。
Oh, he missed the whole thing, yeah.
どうだクヌート軍の様子は。
I was kind of thinking Forger would kill those messengers and be a messenger himself, return.
100人。ああ、奴隷と召使いを除いてな。
100 versus 350. That's going to give them a bit of false hope, yeah.
手抜けばわしらが恐れ入ってひれ伏すとでも思うたか。この地には王などに草の。
What do you think is going to happen if you win this, though? Like, if Canute dies here, someone else takes over, then you've just really started war.
望みの褒美を与えるぞ。
Yeah, who brings me the king's head is out for blood. What does he think would happen?
王様が来てんのか。重視の中でも王の近衛とくりゃデンマーク屈指の。
Yeah, we saw that with the arrows. They had probably better weaponry and just more physical strength to do it further.
全員トールギルさんくらい強えと。
If they're all as strong as Forgil, yeah, you're screwed.
白マントたちはこの絵に比べりゃ弱い。
なんだお前、見たことねえのかよ。あれが。
Hey, yeah, it was the John was liking to it here. He's heard the name.
なあ。こっちの反応戦士の寄せ集めとは兵の質が違いすぎる。
But he's still gonna fight.
連中だ。一戦やらなきゃ旦那にはそれがわからねえらしい。
Oh, the plan is to fight them once, lose a little bit, and then the master will know what to do.
俺は指揮官だ。逃げてどうする。あの350人のお調子乗りども。
Does he know it's a death trap?
ケテル一族を縛り上げて引き渡しちまいましょうよ。そうだ。
Oh, yeah. Okay, betray your boss, then betray your master. Yeah.
音に聞こえた鉄拳ケティルだ。熊を素手で殴り殺した武勇伝は知ってるだろう。
Yeah, the story of the Iron Fist as well.
鉄拳のことならよく知ってる。15、6の頃に出会ってな。
Oh, when he was younger.
遊戯を教えてくれた。俺にとっちゃ兄貴みてえな人だ。
But we know that Iron Fist was all a lie.
ケティルの兄ならかくまってくれると思ってよ。
なんだお前は。わしに言おうか。
It's not the same person.
別人だったんだ。
Yeah, so there was an Iron Fist out there before that wasn't Ketil. He just took the name.
語ってんだよ、あの旦那は。たまたま名前が同じなのをいいことにな。
Okay, so yeah, just someone else who had the same name. But Snake's known all along.
ずいぶんただ飯を食わせてもらった。
Oh, time to prove himself. Yeah, not exactly a rousing speech.
お前らは好きにしろ。旦那は命を捧げるには値しねえペテン野郎だってことだ。
Not worth dying for, okay.
じゃあ、達者でな。
This could be goodbye, yeah. That is the smart thing to do, to just leave. But they're not going to.
働いてみせますよ。
さっきの話。
It feels like, is this episode all just build up to the fight? Feels like it. Or maybe not. I was thinking it might end right before, yeah. Might be time for Ketil to actually earn his name. Earn the Iron Fist mantle.
海を背にした陣だ。王の軍団はここに2列応対。
They're easily surroundable.
背後を全く気にしてねえ。こっちにまともな軍隊がいねえのを知ってやる。
Can they come in from the sea, from behind? Just for Gil on a little boat?
客数える間に皆殺しだ。
じゃあ。
They're just fodder, yeah. They'll get 1 or 2 kills in probably.
決まってんだろそんなもん。
They're a distraction.
王の注意を引いてもよ。
Okay, yeah. And it's a bit more intimidating to go up against a larger number. Like, yeah, there's just a guy with a pot in his head, you know? Yeah, Thorgil's got something up his sleeve. He's surrounded them or something, coming in from the back because where they're undefended. Yeah, Ketil's army, Canute's army does look quite small, especially when it's all lined up like that. Patter's the only one they care about there because he can help Arnheid, can't he? Okay, yeah, they are leaving. Good. There's not much else on Einer's mind, is there? Oh, nighttime already. Okay. They've probably made a good distance then. Or not. It's all in her head. Her new baby. Yeah, her... Okay. Having a vision. Yeah, she's imagining what happened if they had escaped and she had the kid. Oh. Deer and a wolf, like predator and prey together there. They're still here. Oh, even in such like a barren place, yeah. Life thrives still. They try and live on. Oh, this is like, is this a heaven? Is this an afterlife? Because Garda's dead. Her first child was dead. It's her and a new child. Was that it? Come find me in the afterlife? I kind of interpret that as she's only waking up to say goodbye, but I don't know. Maybe not. And just brutal. Have they even done any damage to the Canute's army? So they just need to all go in at once and overwhelm them, yeah. They're rowing in on a boat from behind, aren't they? Or just swimming. Okay. Just gonna sneak up behind, and Canute is basically wide open if he had a bow and arrow. Does he want to fight? You don't need to be, yeah. Sneaking right in. I'm surprised they swam it. I thought they'd be like on a tiny little boat. I do wonder about Canute's helmet there. Saw the eyes on the front. I thought, what kind of animal is it supposed to be? Just gonna end on that. Okay, so that was Vinland Saga Season 2, Episode 19, The Battle of Ketil's Farm. You know, the battle starts here, but we start off the episode with a bit of previous, before the fight, you know, setup, with Snake revealing that he did actually know Ketil's secret here. And I didn't realise Ketil had basically done a Mr. Skinner. He had done a Seymour Skinner where he'd taken someone else's identity and they just happened to share the same name. You know, I knew obviously he had lied about the Iron Fist Ketil, but I didn't realise there was actually someone called Iron Fist Ketil who was this like really great man who, I mean, not great man, but really like great fighter who had this reputation, and it was just Ketil had like taken that name and used it to his advantage to start his farm here. So he's always been a bit of a con artist, really. But yeah, it's pretty clear that there's no winning this. Snake says it, he says it to his men. But like Fox does say, you know, if we're gonna die, or like, you know, we've earned our way, we've paid our dues, we're not gonna you know, go out here even if it is just for a con man. We're not gonna be cowards. If we've been working for a con man this whole time, let's at least prove ourselves here, kind of, in a way. I am quite interested to see a bit more of Fox, sorry, because it feels like there has been some growth from him. I want to see how he actually fights, perhaps, because we've seen like before when it was like him and Olma, and he was like getting Olma to fight and try and become a man, and then Snake shows up, and Snake's like the true actual boss, and Fox was kind of compensating a bit. I want to see what Fox is properly like here, because I do feel like there has been a bit of growth from him when things have finally got serious here. So I want to see a bit more of Fox and maybe his true colours in a fight here. I am very surprised this big old opening that's been left for Thorgil as well. Obviously they end on the you know, the cliffhanger of him coming out the water behind Canute. I don't think he's going to get what. I don't think Canute's going to die here. He's not going to get a one up on Canute. But I don't know if Thorgil would die. I don't think he would. I think if Thorgil did die, it would have to be Canute who killed him, and that would like really send a signal that, oh, Canute's the real deal. But I'm not sure how that would go down. I was expecting Thorgil to be here, him to act as like a bit of a wrecking ball, making his way through the crowd and, you know, simultaneously giving Ketil's side a bit of hope and putting a bit of dread on the other side. But like, as the others have said, all of the Jomsvikings and, is it Fagin? That was the name they gave to Canute's men. They're all like as strong as Thorgil. You know, I don't know how true that actually is, but that's what they're saying. So maybe that wouldn't be the case where, as we've seen with Thorgil before, where he was like so strong, maybe they are a match to him. But this is quite a good plan strategically for him to do this. I don't know, you know, if he did manage, like hypothetically, if he did manage to kill Ketil, I don't know what would happen from that point. I think all the men would still carry on fighting, right? It's not just, you don't just cut off the head and everything else stops. It would probably be that Floki just kind of carries on leading them in this battle and avenging him. But I am surprised that this is what Thorgil is doing, even though, you know, they talked about that weakness. It just feels like story-wise, I'm like, what are they going to do with this? Did they purposely leave this open because they knew Thorgil would come and do this, and it's maybe a bit of a trap for him here? Or because they're not going to kill Canute, they could kill Thorgil, but I feel like Thorgil will he'll have a bit in him, have a bit of a fight in him. Obviously the guys by Canute probably are the best of the best that he has, but I don't know. Yeah, it feels like that it might be a trap. That's what I'm kind of leaning towards here now, subverting our expectations after leaving it on that cliffhanger. And yeah, I wanted to talk about Canute. He's got this helmet, and I was wondering what it was, because there's the two eyes there. I was thinking, oh, is it like an owl? But it's not really. I'm like, is it supposed to be a certain animal? I'm not quite sure there if it is something that's supposed to represent him. What kind of animal would it be? There's the kind of two pointy bits. I was like, oh, is it like a bird? Or are they supposed to be like antlers? I'm not quite sure, but that wouldn't be like fierce enough, I don't think. I know Canute he wasn't particularly fierce, but you know, that's the message he wants to send to his men, isn't it, anyway? He needs to kind of embody fierceness. So I wonder what that is supposed to be. Or it's just kind of more abstract and just, it's got the eyes on the front, you know. It's just like abstractly some sort of animal, some sort of predator. And then speaking of the animals, we see them in that kind of vision that Arnheid is having. And that felt like, to me, I was like, oh, she's having a vision of her potential future. But then it made it feel like that was actually an afterlife, and she does survive here, and it was actually Gardar saying, come and find me and your son in the afterlife eventually, but for the moment you can say goodbye. And I'm not sure if that's him saying, you know, say goodbye and then she'll die quick, or it's she's, you know, saying goodbye and you can come back to us eventually in the long term. I can't tell if that means short term or long term there, really. Does that mean she's fully survived and is going to survive, or does it mean she's like awakened there and will have a quick chat with Aina, but it won't last that long? I'm not quite sure there, but if that is supposed to be an afterlife, she's already slipping into death there to be able to have that so-called conversation with Gardar, isn't she? And then Ketil. I just don't know anymore. It's like, did I give him a bit too much of benefit of the doubt at the start? When he was being kind to Aina and Thorfinn and like giving them a way out, or is this his true self, or is this just him because he snapped? You know, I was thinking like at the start, if this had all happened at the start of the season, how much this would play out differently. Like, would Ketil just hand over the farm, even though it is like his land, his like prized possession? Would he hand it back over to Canute to, like, I don't know, would he believe kind of in the system, in Canute, to give it over to him? But I don't think he would fight at that point. That doesn't feel like him. But obviously there's this mounting pressure of everything, and like him obviously snapping with Arnheid and the baby, him relying on her so much. I don't know how to feel about him anymore. And like here, he's like so violent and like ready to fight. Maybe not violent, we haven't actually seen him fight here, but he is so ready for violence and pushing for violence, isn't he? Like, he's ready to fight. He's, you know, it's his own pride. He's leading all of these men to death. Snake's giving him an out. Snake's saying this is going to end in death. He's giving him this warning, but he's still going for it out of his own pride, perhaps. Just in this moment where he's lost everything, he's going to have all of these men die for nothing, isn't he? And maybe it is, yeah, he has always been a con artist, and, you know, we've known that, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt with him being, you know, giving Thorfinn and Aina a way out, but still being a slave owner. But then obviously there's a bit of like, perhaps product of the times, perhaps some misogyny, him feeling ownership over women, him not giving that same path to freedom for his female slaves, not giving them that same grace. And it's like this show, there's so many great men and so many good, like, almost role models here, where we've got this example of Thors, who at this point is almost a little bit of like this mythologized man, this kind of perfect man. I'm sure if he was still about, there maybe would be some flaws with him, but, you know, we kind of have him as the bar, and Thorfinn's trying to reach that point, and maybe we'll eventually reach that point. And we've got people like Aina who are kind and perhaps don't have like what you traditionally associate with masculinity, or like don't adhere to kind of the toxic masculinity side that kind of a Thorgil represents. But as we see, like with Thorfinn and Aina, they are kind and empathetic here, but they're also strong, and they will fight for what's right. They will use that strength to protect those they love. And by fight, that isn't always physical violence. That can be conflict and challenging people in that way as well. And it feels like, yeah, Ketil maybe, who I thought initially would be a good man, isn't anymore, and that kind of image is crumbling a bit. And we found out he was a con man, and I gave him you know, he was a con man and he was like using it to stop violence in the Iron Fist Ketil episode, but then now he's resorting to violence. He's changed a bit. I don't know if it's showing his true colours or just him snapping, you know? Okay, so I think that's everything. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below. If you really love this, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date on all future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys later.